What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some more Watcher of Realms, and today we're going to be dropping a buttload of summons, the most summons I've ever done at a single time. So, we've got quite a few of these bad boys saved up. Boop, 443 blues. That is easily the most I've ever done at a time. Plus, we've got just about 20,000 in diamonds, which I don't know if we'll go like all out with use every single diamond, but we do have at least 200 summons there as well. So we're looking at about 650 summons, which is a lot of summons, but we're looking to get the bad boy Wukong here. We're guaranteed to get one, but I would love to get at least one copy of him, just because I do have some, where are they at? Boop, bop. These. I have a couple of unpolished legendary soul stones I would like to drop on the bad boy, take him to A3, and then do some work with him in guild boss areas and stuff like that. So he's kind of the main goal. That's what I'm looking for today. Lots of loot on the table here as well. Spiritual also can give us a couple more divines. I'm assuming we will finish this out with 600 summons. Be kind of shocked if we didn't. 3 legendary skill crystals, which we will need. I think Wukong takes like 16 skill crystals to max out, so we're going to be blowing through pretty much all of these to get him upgraded, but we'll get some diamonds back, some upgrade materials and stuff like that. That'll be great. So before we, let's just not waste too much time, let's just jump into it. I probably won't go too into detail on bunches of heroes that we summon because we have so many to do. I don't want the video to take like 3 hours, so we're going to kind of roll through it at a reasonable pace. At least hopefully, and then hopefully we'll grab at least one, at least one extra Wukong, because we're guaranteed to get the one. Our pity timer, we are at a big fat like 0 on pity timer. We're starting over from pretty much scratch, so if we get a legendary early, that'll be great. Can't really, I guess, tell when you're going to get one. I do think if you snag out a Wukong in your first 200 summons, even if it's not like the guaranteed one at 200, you do reset this so you don't get like a second Wukong, which would kind of suck. But with that said, let's jump in. Maybe we'll get lucky and grab one right off the bat and we'll be able to see for sure if that's the case. We've already got ourselves a purple, and that's always nice to see. It's not, I think I've got a couple of this dude. I've never actually used him. I'll probably end up using him for faction trials because I don't have a lot of the esoterists. We won't go too crazy in on him. Just essentially, he's like a tank that does magic damage. Not bad. He does, his ult is based on his health, so it's like an HP based damage dealing ult, which isn't bad. His ult boosts his HP as well, so it does a little more damage. And I think he also, with one of his awakens or something, stuns people. But a little vulnerability, not a bad deal. Won't go too, too crazy with it. Got us some free gimmages sitting right here as well. Drop ourselves another 10 piece. And this is going to be a food 10 piece, so we can just double flip this, not worried about it, and jump right into the next 10 bomb. I would love... Oh, okay, now I was like, already? No way. I would love to grab our legendary before the timer just to see if maybe we do get, like, 2 of them. That would be great. Get one from that and then a guaranteed 200. I'd like to see that for testing purposes for my own brain. Selkath, I've never really used this guy, so I can't say too much on him. The one thing I do kind of like about him is his ult does boost attack speed for, like, all your allies. In his range, which can be kind of nice, little extra attack speed boost. Where I would actually use him, I don't know. I've never actually seen him really get used much either, so I'd put him at like not that important. But he is the times 15 epic for the event, so we're probably going to see quite a few of those dropping. Got ourselves a Perpsky, love to see it. I'd love to grab, like, for epics, like, maybe some Mauls. Brienne. Brienne's a really great epic to pull. Do love to see that. What the freaking crap? A Lunaria? You shouldn't have, game. Right, that's pretty rare. You don't see these pop up very often. Lord heroes do not have a high drop rate, even if they're only epics. It's like, what is it, like 0.12% or something? It's not high. You don't see them super often, but super great. I've already got her, which is, I mean, it's still nice to get another one, don't get me wrong, but being able to awaken her up is nice. Pretty solid. I did use her in Gear Raid 319 for my mini. I haven't really messed too much in pushing it beyond 19 on my main yet, but I feel like since I don't have a legendary Piercer Lord, I will end up relying on her to help a little bit in those areas anyways. So that's great. Brienne, kind of the same thing. She's like, in my opinion, a little budget Hatset. So she's not like as good as Hatset is for sure. But she does do extra attacks on airborne units, which is nice, and her ultimate does attack 5 enemies in range for like 150% AoE damage, which is good. That's not bad at all. The only downside is a fairly high cost ult, and after you pop it that first time, it does take a while to build back up, which can be a little annoying. Her split arrow, pretty good. Hits extra units, never a bad thing. But getting her awakened up also will be nice. Pretty cheap. Most marksmen are fairly cheap as long as they're not like, you know, Maul or Rozik or whatever. So either way, that's a nice one to grab. Happy to see that. We may end up using her in Gear Raid like 320 plus. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really have like a Hex or a Silas or anything like that. My legendary marksman game, not beautiful. It's pretty weak. We're going to grab another purple here. Mari, I think I've got her at A5. I might not. Don't quote me on that. Actually, I probably don't. Titus, not too crazy about Titus. He seems like a very weird tank. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about him. He just doesn't seem super awesome to me. Mari, you use Mari a lot for the early game, mid game. Her vulnerability on her passive here is actually pretty nice. It's 20% when you max her out. So, I mean, free extra 20% damage to physical and magic. You can't really argue with it. Plus, she has solid control. I do still use her in Guild Boss 2 a little bit. Build her tanky, and then that little freeze she pops down does indeed stack up that little saw face for you pretty well. So, not a bad hero. Good in a lot of different areas. Never a bad deal to grab one of those. So we're already, what, 50 summons deep? Drop ourselves another 10 pull here. Looking like we're getting purples again. Love to see the purples. As long as we're not getting all blues, like those pulls kind of stink a little bit, but it is what it is. I do believe I already have an A5 Theowin, so I'm not too crazy about grabbing him. He's fusible anyway, so not really a big deal. But Nasandi is kind of nice. I do not have an Elowin on this account, so having 2 cleansers is actually pretty important for Guild Boss 2 for me, because I just can't quite outlive all the poison damage. However, with some Wukong, I might be able to just make that happen, because I do believe his first awaken pretty much gives like everybody around him a do not die button, which is pretty cool. So either way, still nice to get her, just so I have a little secondary cleanse option in case we get like crazy lucky and pull an Elowin. She is like kind of my secondary cleanser right now. I do kind of main with Medan, but she's also an option there. So not bad. Another 10 pull coming in. Well, looking like a food pull. We can go ahead and just double flip that. Y'all, not worried about it. Drop our next 10 piece. 363 plus 200 in the diamonds to go. We've got a lot to do here. Double flip that as well. That was an ugly one. Ugh. That was bad. Whatever. It happens. We've got a lot more to go. Here we go. Now we're getting into it. Another purple. Love to see the purples. I want to say you're supposed to get a purple like... It's like 8% chance, so it's like 1 in every, I don't know, 12 or something weird. I'm not good at math. This guy seems weird. I've never seen one actually built up to be really strong, and his cost is like, he cost as much as greed, but his damage doesn't seem that good. I don't know. Maybe he's got some kind of value. When I look at him, he just seems kinda dookie. So I don't worry about him too much. Just seems like really low damage, but maybe, again, maybe if I upgraded him and built him, we would see differently. Esme, she's everywhere. You get her all the time. She just drops like candy. I think when they nerfed poison, she got pretty bad, so... I mean, maybe in like the Immortal Codex you could use her, but... I don't know. I consider her a pretty low tier marksman. Not going to worry about building her up on this one. Let's go ahead. Another 10 piece in. Looking like all blues, so a double flip here. Boop. At least we got a decent amount of blues that time. That's nice. When you get like mostly greens, that just kind of hurts your soul a little bit. But when you get blues, at least you get a little bit of a refund on your diamonds there. Another perpski. Love to see that. Depending on who it is, I guess. It's still better than nothing. Cyrene. I want to say... I almost have enough to awaken her like 5 times. I've still to this day like never really used her. I do know people use her in the arena. I've run into a few people that have used Cyrene and decimated me very quickly, but I haven't really invested in her. Arena's not like really high on my priority list, so it's not something I'm going crazy with. But there may be other content in the game where having cost regen is just really, really nice. So, I mean, it's good to pull, because like you never know, I may end up using her. For nowsies, though, I'm not too crazy worried about it. Looks like we're 110 summons deep, going 120 now. And it's going to be a food pull. Love to see that. Love to see it. 50-50 split. Not too bad, not too bad. It's like 150 diamonds there. Another food pull. That just hurts you. That hurts you a little bit on the deep on the inside. Another 50-50 pull looks like, so we'll just count that as diamonds. You know what I'm saying? We'll just count that as diamonds. Here we go. All right, I was about to be a little bit sad. I was. It looks like they did fix those two little black bars on the screen when you summon. So that's nice. Ooh, I like this chick. I need to get more copies of her. I think I've got her A2 here. Her third awakening is actually pretty good. It does boost her into having more of an AoE with her crystal bombs, which is great. They already do hit pretty hard, and I feel like if you build her really, really strong, like a ton of attack, she will hit insanely hard, because these things get to doing a freakish amount of her attack. I'm not sure, can we just... 3,600 attack, that's not a crazy high stat, but for an epic, that's not bad. Huge attack range, lots of freezes going in there. I might end up using her for Gear Dungeon 1, I don't know. I've been struggling there real hard, so she may be someone I have to lean into, try to help out a little bit. Boop, that's nice. Always love to see it. Moving into 100 and something-th summons. I don't know what we're at anymore. I already forgot, even though I just said it like 20 seconds ago. We're going to get a purple here, 2 of them. Hey, there we go, we got a Maul. I do love to see Maul, even though I have Razik on this account. The nice thing about Maul here is that 5th Awaken for him, knocking his cost down by 5. He's already a very expensive unit, 22. I believe Razik is also 22, he might be 23. But shaving off 5 cost does allow you to throw him down quick. But also the fact that that first awaken gives him crowd control. He actually freezes ground units and knocks them back is pretty cool. So I do think Maul's definitely a good epic. He's an epic you can use even when you have legendaries in your team. I think he's just really, really strong. So I always love to see copies of him dropping. Another Cellcath, we'll probably see a lot of that. Little Toad Bro dropping, but I ain't too worried about him. We've already briefly discussed his utility, which is, I don't really know. Alright. Lily, I think this is my second Lily, but that's good, because I do need her for fusions to fuse up a Salazar, so I think that's right. Because I could probably use him in my guild boss teams. He does do bleed, he's part of the Nightmare faction, that's most of my guild boss right now, but she's kind of just a cheaty death kind of unit. It's not her ultimate, is it a passive? Yeah, it's her passive. So every 55 seconds when it's fully maxed out, she prevents one person in range from dying. That's kind of nice. That can come in handy in certain areas. I've seen her used in Guild v Guild a little bit, but I'm not too on the up and up for Guild v Guild stuff, so maybe down the road we'll look at it. For nowsies, I'm looking at her as Salazar food. That's what she is to me. So we're what? 160 it looks like in. 170. We're getting pretty close to that pity. I have heard people say that you should swap different banners. This is all food. Once you get close to the pity, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to run it all the way out. If we get him at 200, we get him at 200. It's not a big deal. There we go. And there we go. So we've got our legendary. It's 180. It might be Sun Wukong. It may not be Sun Wukong. We don't know. It is Sun Wukong. So there we go. We got him at 180, that's great. I do believe, because we're not at 200 yet for surezies, we can go back and check and see if the banner has been removed and now it's not guaranteed in 200, but we will see. Oop, I'm going to sip some coffee while we're watching this little thingy go on real quick. Oh yeah, coffee good. I don't think I've ever actually watched this video. And why is Torador flying? Bro's a bull. I'm not sure how he got up in the sky, but you do you. The skin for this guy is actually pretty cool. I'm not sure. I think you just get it for signing in for 3 days. Like, everybody's going to have it, so it's not, like, super unique. But I do think it looks pretty awesome. So there we go. We got our Sun Wukong. Let's go ahead and grab those 50 Diamondes out. Bam! All right. First copy down. And now we just got to grab a bunch more. Because we have 263. That was 180 summons deep. Do not prompt me, don't care. Okay, so it is gone now. We are not guaranteed 1 in 200, but I didn't figure it would be. I figured this probably how it's going to work. Either way, we've got our first copy, and we've still got like 463 pulls to get another one. So let's go ahead, jump back in. We're not stopping. Food. Double flip the foods. Oh, you know, honestly, when they're this bad and they're almost all greens, I just wish these two would be green as well so I could just get that achievement for pulling a terrible pull and get some diamonds as a refund. But whatever. No big thing. Go again. Looks like we got some more perp skis. Love to see it. We are guaranteeing ourselves at least 3 legendaries this event. Hopefully, we have... Ooh, a greed copy. This guy seems super duper rare. Unfortunately, I think I do already have mine to A5 because it was so rare getting copies. I went ahead and upgraded mine with soul stones. A little bit of a bummer because he's really, really good AoE magic damage. Also does some magical resistance reduction, which is great. A little bit, you know, a little bit sad because I've already used my soul stones on him, but we can turn him into awakening materials by auto fights and stuff like that. We've had A5 Navros for probably like the whole game, so I'm not too worried about getting copies of him though. Even though he is a good hero, I do like him. I still use him in faction trials. All around a pretty solid dude. But yeah, those guys seem really, really rare. I'd love to see the drop rates on some of these heroes because like this guy, I don't know if I've ever actually seen one drop in summons. This is like the first one in like a lot of summons that I've actually seen drop as a drop. I don't know if I've ever seen a banner for him either. Either way, drop another 10 piece, keep things rolling along here. We got ourselves some perpskis. That's always nice. A Dalen. So she is kind of like, I think she's pretty much, oh, good lord, we got 3 perpskis, 2 toad people. Kind of figured we're going to get some toad people in there. Dalen, I think, is kind of like Cyrene, but slightly different. She has a passive that gives cost regen. I want to say Cyrene might be her ult, but I don't know. Also pretty cheap. I believe the Awakens actually lower her cost down to 10, which is pretty low. The downside to these heroes, like, well, why wouldn't you build someone that can give you cost? It's really cheap. You know, for a fighter, 11 cost is crazy cheap. But it's because their stats are really, really bad. Low HP, low attack. Like, that's pretty horrible. But they're cheap to put down. They give you cost back to get more heroes out quickly. Then you can kind of just sell them back to the game and have your whole lineup out a little bit hiccup earlier. So I'm not too worried about her. Like I said, I've already kind of got plenty of heroes in that category, and I haven't built them yet. If I reach a point in the game where I feel like I really need cost regen, I'll worry about them then. For nowsies, they're just, they're bench warmers. You know what I'm saying? They're all just chilling there, waiting for their turn in the sun. Look at, here I am saying I never see greed, and with like in 30 summons, I get 2 of them. That's crazy. But another AI, I don't know how you say it. But this chick, that's probably a 3 or 4, at least A3. Probably A4. That's great. I'd love to get her to A5 so I can use her in some other content. I do like her. Great. Another Brienne copy. I don't even think I've had a single Awaken on Brienne, so this is like the first time I'm getting Awakens on her. Very solid. Love to see it. And of course, another Greed, which is going to be Awakening Materials. It is what it is. So here we go. Looks like we got some... Oh, jumping straight back into Legendary Land pretty soon. That was not that many summons deep. I summoned a Komodo. A Deimos! Who is this lady? Dude? Lady dude? I don't know. Well, it's a lady and a dude. A little bit of both. Who are we getting here? I'm not sure yet. Take a quick little sip. Eyeball's gonna open. Oh, I figured they like snap open and like scare you a little bit, but that was pretty gentle. That wasn't too bad. I wasn't freaked out. Is that Zealous, this dude down there? I don't know. I've never gotten one, but I think that's him? I don't know. Either way, here we go. Got to get that chest shot. If it's not a boob shot, you're not getting a legendary hero. It's just the way it is. Everybody knows there'll be a butt shot in here, probably. No, there wasn't. They're really slipping here. Oh, we got a Lord hero. What's up? All right, well, that's super nice. Love to see that. A Cultist Lord on top of that. So she'll be really, really great for Gear Raid 1. Cultists already have a lot going on there, so like Vierna and stuff paired with her. Really, really good. So that's awesome. Love to see a Lord hero drop. That's just absolutely insane. 2 Lord heroes in the same tin bomb? We grabbed the Pyros as well. I don't think mine's A5. I think he's like A3 or A4. Because this one's, I don't really use him outside of guild boss fights, so this passive or Awaken doesn't seem all that useful, because if the boss dies, I don't know, like you've beat the game at that point. So I don't know. Maybe if you use him outside of that, he'll be that'll be a good Awaken. I'm not too worried about it. But we got quite a few stuff here. Right, Komodo. I don't think I've got an A5 Komodo. Probably won't ever use A5 Komodo here, simply because with Salazar on the table, there's no reason to have this guy. Salazar is just this dude, but much better. Also a lizard even, so he doesn't have that as being unique, which is a little bit sad. We do have A5 Deimos over here already, so it is still cool to pull another one. I love Deimos, probably one of my favorite epics for damage. Also, he just looks kind of cool. So that's a pretty sick tin bomb right there. We got ourselves a Lord Hero. That's like a 0.04% chance. Love to see it. And we still got like 400 summons to go. We've only gone through a third of the summons for the day. So, back to it we go. Another Toad, man. We're going to have so many Toads to turn into Awakened materials. It's going to be ridiculous. We're going to have purple stuff for like the rest of our lives after this event. And I'm not upset with that because I really do like having the extra chance to buy auto fights every week. Because, man, when you're farming gear, you absolutely blow through auto fights. Another Dalen here. Not too... Delaney? I don't know. Another one of those. Not too crazy worried about it. Drop another 10 piece here. But yeah, getting those auto fights, you blow through those because, like, man, I feel like the drop rate on, like, good gear is, like, even when you get, like, 19 plus, it's just bad. Like, it's very low. You'll blow, like, 200 auto fights and grab, like, one piece of thumbs up gear, and it makes you weep a little bit on the inside, but then you'll have that day where you throw, like, 50 auto fights out and you grab, like, 2 ancients, and you're like, well, never mind, it's all okay. Another Toad bro coming to join the team. Is soon going to be turned into food for the team. A Blueskis, so all food pull here. Go ahead and flip that real quick. Drop our next tin bomb. And another food pull, back-to-back ones. I can't argue though. Like we had a Lord Hero drop, so there's like at this point, any sad words that come out of my mouth is just going to feel cheap, and I'm not going to do it. I ain't about that. So let's jump in, see what we got here. Another Toad bro. I'm not surprised. We've gotten, I wonder how many, we'll have to go count our Toad people at the end of this to see just how many Toads that we've snagged. It's a lot. Okay, we're already like pushing probably 10 Toads, and that's a lot. That's a lot of Toads. That's a Toad for each toe on your foot. You know what I'm saying? On your feet. If you have 10 toes on one foot, you got a problem. Probably want to get that checked out. That's not good. Another purple here. Is it Toad? It's not. It's Medan. I do love me some Medan. I do not think that mine is A5 yet. I think my Olag is. He might be A4. Actually, that might be the mini account. I think this one may not have as high of an Olag. I guess we'll check out and see on that later. But that's a really good. I like seeing both of those. Medan, probably one of the better epic healers in the game. AoE healing, HP based on top of that means you can build her very tanky, which is nice. Relatively low deployment cost as well, 15, versus like Hollow is 17. I think Vortex is also 17. And you also get the Cleanse. The Cleanse is huge, but also an AoE heal that pops every second. Really, really good. Love to see it. Also the defense increase. Not something I really pay attention to too often, but it is nice. It does extra 20% defense on whoever gets healed. So your tanks do get a little bit tankier when Medan heals them. Very, very solid. Love to see her dropped. Everyone knows Olag, the big beefy bro. The greatest of all epic tanks, probably. Just really solid. It's this passive right here that just makes him super duper good. You end up getting like, what, 85% of his health as a shield every 11 seconds. It becomes very difficult to kill this guy. Really, really solid. Love me some Olag. Go ahead and drop ourselves the next 10 piece. Here it comes in, and it's going to be a food pull. We see those relatively often, but it's all right. It's not a big deal. Next one coming in real quick. And it's going to be another food pull. It hurts. That hurts when you get them back to back. You know what? That stings a little bit. But it's okay. We can't be sad. If we get 3 in a row, I'll be a little sad, but we didn't. So it's okay. No sadness here. Gonna get ourselves a purple. Is it going to be a Toad? That's the real question. And it's not. It's going to be a Daemon. I've never used him. I've got like 3 or 4 copies. He actually looks kind of cool. I guess he is Ain's brother. I guess it kind of makes sense. I see the family resemblance. You know what I'm saying? They look similar. But he might have some use in some areas. Very low deployment cost for his first deployment. It does go up every time he's redeployed. But he's kind of like a little nuke. You like send in and he does damage when you drop him. And when he's deployed, he boosts his attack. He also inflicts stun with his attacks, which is kind of nice. But he does like a little AoE damage thingy when you drop him in. So you can kind of drop him, get some damage, and slurp him right back up when his ult wears off, and then kind of repeat over and over again. I've never really seen a great use for him yet. Maybe like in a Gear Raid 2 situation, he could be something. I don't know. And maybe, like I said, maybe in some of the harder Void Rifts, being able to like pick... Oh, that reminds me, in Void Rift, the tentacles. He's a great tentacle killer, right? Because you can just pick him up and throw him down. He's very cheap to put down, and he instantly kind of nukes the tentacles down, which is kind of nice. So that is a use for old Damon here. He's a tentacle murderer for the Void Rift. That said, next 10 piece coming in now. We're getting close to the final 200 summons. Another purple. Love to see the purples, unless it's more toads, in which case, it's this guy. So, pretty much a toad. I think we pulled like 9 of this dude in the last event that he was on. We just got so many of him. I'm probably never going to build him on this account. I don't see any reason to. But yeah, there he is. He burns people, and he has an ult up pretty much 100% of the time. That is as off. So, next 10 piece coming in now. And it's going to be perp. That's good. No yellows, but we're getting close-ish. We'll definitely get at least one more coming out. Oh, look at that! We got a new hero. I've never gotten Aatrox before. I've seen people use him in quite a few areas. I think I want to say Gear Raid 2 people have used him, but also in the Artifact Material Raid, and also I think in Gear Raid 1. But even... I think it's one of the Immortal Codexes he was pretty solid in. So we can look at him for a little bit, just because I've never had one before. We might as well give him a little peek-see here. Essentially, he dies. That's what he does. You put him down, and he will absolutely be deceased. Very low deployment cost, very quick redeployment time. Every time you deploy him, it does increase that up 6 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. So he does get up to a 38-second redeployment time. That's still not that long. That's still shorter than pretty much every other hero in the game. If you pair that with someone like Volca at A1, that's a really quick redeployment time. And bet, when you drop him, essentially, he does AoE damage. Eventually, he will die. When he dies, he does, you guessed it, AoE damage. So really, really solid in areas like that where you need a lot of AoE. Like, they just armors up his face like crazy, leaves those nips just out and exposed. But I guess if you're born to die, you're not worried about it. But there we go. We got this, bro. We got what? 273-ish around about summons left. Let's go ahead and keep pulling these suckers out. And if we're really, really lucky, we won't get a ton of these food pulls. And we will instead get, like, I don't know, a Sun Wukong. That would be great. But instead, we're going to grab another food pull. All good, all good, all good. Boop. 10 more. Now, you can't 3 me in a row here. Okay, thank you. And, oh, there we go. So we got ourselves another legendary hero. That's nice. That means we will get at least 4 legendary heroes out of this event. Ooh! Well, that's lucky. So she just dropped, like, a week ago, and I didn't pull on her. Holy Lord. Goodness. They spent time on that model, I'll tell you that much. But she just dropped a little bit ago. I was like, well, I don't want to pull on her, even though she is, like, apparently really solid for bosses, part of the Infernal faction. I do run a Pyros and Zilitsu in my boss team, so throwing her in would be pretty good. But yeah, that's great. More boss DPS, adding in some Wukong as well. Can't really be upset about that. That's pretty nuts. All right, so 3 legendaries deep, and we've got another 250-ish summons to go. We're just going to pull until our diamonds are like 0, and then I'm not going to go and sell off all my stuff and then resummon. I'll probably just leave it as what it is. Another Toad Bro, another Kalina. I haven't used Kalina too often. The only area I can see her as an epic being useful in is if you obviously can't use legendary heroes. That extra true damage is kind of nice for petrified enemies in the Void Rift. Outside of that, nothing's jumping straight to my mind about that being really, really useful. The fact that she can't crit, I think, is her biggest downside. There's so much gear in the game that you just lose substats. And like all you can carry is like attack bonus attack and attack speed, and you've got like 2 extra substats that you don't really know what to do with. Like HP maybe, just make her tanky. I don't know. Feels a little bit weird, but is what it is. So, boom. Next 10 one coming in hot. Can't even pull the Lord hero. That's pretty crazy. I didn't expect that to happen, but I love to see it. Because my Gear Raid 1, I do want to get that pushed up a little bit higher. I'd love to grab some great stuff out of there. This was a food pull. Don't know why I didn't just do a quick double flip there, but I got distracted by my own brain. But we already got another purple. That's good. Is it toads? We shall see. It probably has at least 1 toad in it. It doesn't. It doesn't have a toad. I lied to you, and I'm sorry about that. But it is Scorch. Pretty I would say. He doesn't seem very strong. I think it's because his attack is pretty low. Now, he does have a fairly low attack, and that is true, but almost everything that you do with him does something for that. Boosts his attack percentage, which is something, damage increase, and his skills here, also he pop his ult, it's an attack percent boost, another attack percent boost. So he does technically have quite a bit of attack boosting in his kit, so he can get, I would say, fairly strong. A really well-built one might be okay in like AoE Arena for the early game, maybe even in Gear Raid 1, I don't know. I doubt he has the stats to really go far there, but that's something we may test at some other time. For now, I'm not too worried about him. He's low on the build list over here. So next 10 piece is looking like a food 10 piece. Go ahead and just give that the old double flipskis. And now we're into the diamonds. So we're down to the final 200 here, 200-ish. Getting a purple on the first one, that's a good sign, love to see it. I mean, it would have been much cooler if that was, you know, a legendary, but we got ourselves another new hero here over here, Draga, the old orc lady. She is one of the few heroes in the game that actually deal damage based on her defense. So we might actually build her up just for funsies and testing. She is part of the Nightmare faction, but as you can see, her damage scales off defense, so the tankier you build her defensive-wise, the more damage she will do. Her basic attack also has a chance to heal her, which is kind of nice. Anytime a tank can kind of self-sustain, it's pretty handy. But not only that, her ult just makes her tankier. She also inflicts damage reduction on enemies, so that's kind of nice. It is on an 8-second cooldown, which is a little bit annoying, but you might see this as 4 seconds over here. I believe one of her awakenings, yeah, the first one actually boosts that by another 4 seconds. So essentially, once you get the first awaken on Draga, and we can look at the other ones really quick, defense, reduces damage taken, that's great, defense, and extra defense, makes sense. Okay, but yeah, essentially she has 100% uptime on a 20% damage reduction, which is pretty solid. That's not bad at all. If you ever need to reduce damage on somebody, she can kind of come in clutch there. I haven't really ever built one up to see what they're capable of, but maybe someday we will get to that. So, now our first actual 10 pull with only diamonds coming in now, and that was not a great sign. All foods, that hurts. But it's not too bad. We'll get a little sip of coffee going here with another food pull. I'm going to cry a little bit, but silently. Actually, I'm just going to sip some coffee instead. All right. Now, if this one's all food, oh my goodness, that stings. That stings right in the old heart place. But it's okay. All right, we're not going to get 4 of those back to back to back, surely. Okay, we're good. Oh, we're really good. See, that's just, it's all coming back together. Started out hurting me a little bit, and it was like, all right, we're sorry. Here's your legendary. Who's it going to be? Xena. So she's also a fairly new hero in the Infernal team. I don't know if she's one that I will use. She does look pretty cool, though. Not bad. Not bad. But she's kind of a pick up and redeploy kind of hero. I'm not a fan of that style of hero. It's just not for me. But she actually has a pretty long attack range. Didn't realize it hit so far ahead. But she does get like an attack boost and all kinds of business as soon as you deploy her. She also burns people. Figured she'd be cheaper, right? Oh, I guess the first deployment is going to be an 11 cost, and then she goes back to 17. So I guess her first deployment is relatively cheap. Deployment time still stays pretty high, so that's something. Again, ultimate is automatic as soon as she's deployed. It boosts her attack, boosts her crit damage. Each attack deals 130% damage to 5 enemies, so pretty solid AoE. I believe she is magic damage, so I may be able to use her as kind of a nuke in Gear Raid 1, just to drop her in like BAM! Right when that healing effect for the boss wears off or something, try to nuke some enemies down relatively quickly. The fewer targets hit, the higher the damage dealt, up to 260%, so I guess on a boss even, this could be something. I guess if you use like Laurel strats where you're going to pick up your heroes and put them down anyways, she would be a good one to kind of cycle with Laurel, so you could put her down, get a huge amount of damage, pick her up, put Laurel down, pick her up, put her back down kind of thing. So maybe that's kind of how it works. After her effects ends, she reduces her attack range to only 1 tile ahead, which is going to make her much weaker, so you'll probably just pick her up after that, generally how it works. When she's attacking people that are burning, she does true damage. Never a bad deal. True damage is always nice. Can't be resisted. Love to see it. The more stacks of burning, the higher the damage dealt. Also pretty cool. Love to see that as well. Permanently increases the hero's damage by 10% with each deployment up to 40%. That's not bad. 1, 2, 3, 5. So 15% would take that up to what, 60%? That's pretty good. So the more times you pick her up and put her down, the more damage she does. Not really sure how she would play out. I don't think she'll be someone that I build right away, simply because, like I said, I'm not really a huge fan of the pick up and dropping style heroes. Just not really my jazz. But, ooh, interesting. So a lot of extra damage on that first awaken seems pretty nice. I guess if she dies, she comes back to life. That's weird. I guess you can drop her as like a suicide nuke then, I guess. Because if she dies, she won't actually die. That's weird. I didn't know she had unyielding. That's something. You might be able to come up with something for that for like Gear Raid 2 or something. I don't know. Penetration. Gotta love the old penetration. Magic resistance reduction, 15% on her during her ultimate. Which that's as soon as you deploy her, that's going to be popping. So essentially just instantly going to reduce magic resistance. Seems pretty interesting. Maybe someday we'll get around to building her. Not putting her in the super duper high build category right now. I might go to another pity. I said I wasn't going to sell off any rares, and I'm a liar who lies about things. Because, I mean, we're going to be like right at the next pity, and I would just love to see one more little monkey lord jump out of the box at me. I don't think we got we didn't get a purple here. But right now, we'll just keep rolling with how it is. Going to give us a couple of food pulls back to back, which means, I mean, we're probably just going to get a legendary in this next 10 pull. That's usually how it goes, right? No, it doesn't. That would be way too lucky. Either way, we've already gotten 4? I think we've already gotten 4 legendaries. I could be wrong on my counting. Let's remember. Wukong, Lord Hero, Lyra, and Xena. Yes, we do have 4. Nice. Another Toad Bro. Don't let me forget to go check on our Toad Bro count. We're going to have a lot of them, I'm guessing. Another food pull here. Go ahead and just double flip those. Not worried about it. And we got ourselves something. That's nice. Love to see it. Not gonna be another food one. Imani and Cyrene. I've never built her up, but she's kind of also in that pick up and drop kind of thing. She might be useful in like Gear Raid 2, I would guess, because I think one of her first awakens here, her third awaken, takes that redeployment time down by quite a bit, and since she does most of her damage right when you put her down, she gets a crazy amount of increased damage dealt, booster attack on her first hit, when deployed, gains crit rate, crit damage, all that good business. She's really about picking her up, putting her down kind of thing. Another one, we've gotten 2 Infernal Heroes with kind of a similar thing going on there, but it is what it is. Let's keep going now. We've probably got, another 100 and something summons left with diamonds here. Another purple. Is it going to be a toad? It's not. It's going to be another one of these guys, which I'm not too crazy about. So, I mean, it's something. I don't know if I'm going to just sell them off for purple business. That's not bad. That's actually much sooner than I expected to see a legendary pop up. But what have we here? Oh, we got Abson. I've heard people talk crap on the old Abson. I don't know why. Maybe he's not great. But to me, he's Jason Momoa, who rides a horse, who also is that horse. So that is who he is to me. But also, I mean, he's not... Ooh, a Vortex. That's nice. I gave up my 5th copy of Vortex to summon that Abomination. So I love to see this guy dropping again, just so I can have that for the future. But this guy is a fighter, so he's a ground unit that does kind of target, like, airborne units. I mean, he seems pretty decent at doing that, actually. So I don't know what the hate is for old Abson. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I've never built one. But he seems like he's a pretty solid unit for dealing with, like, Gear Raid 3, stuff like that, maybe. Anytime you need to deal with airborne units, he seems fairly strong. Maybe it's his stats. Well, he's got a fairly decent amount of attack. That's pretty high, a nice attack range for a fighter. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the hate is right and I'm wrong. There's possibilities. There's always a possibility. But I don't know. I think he seems pretty decent. So maybe build him. Probably not right away unless I really feel like I need it. Awakens. Well, I didn't read any of his skills, so I don't know what any of these are. But I do know what those are. Battle Spirit was boop. I said boop. It was this. Yes, yes. It has a really long cooldown, 40 seconds. But I guess you get down to 30 seconds and it lasts for 5 seconds. So 50% uptime on it. Deadly Assault is his ultimate. I think that's what that was saying, wasn't it? Nope, that's Battle Spirit. I don't even know what that is. What's Battle Spirit? Okay, Glory Recall. There we go. Within 15 seconds of deployment, every basic attack triggers the Piercing Javelin. That is his talent up here. That penetrates, keyword there, penetrates people, and does extra damage. Airborne units taking more damage. So anytime that he procs, Okay, so anytime Glory Recall's gone, he will also be he'd be piercing the crap out of people. That's what he does. Not a bad deal. His Piercing Spear will target one extra person, so 3 targets instead of 2. That's great. Or maybe it's 4 instead of 3. But it pierces 2? Does that mean it hits the 3rd guy? I don't know. I'm not really sure on that. And then Battle Spirit goes up to another 5 seconds. I don't know. Maybe a solid guy, maybe not a solid guy. My brain says he seems okay for niche situations. Plus, he's a piercer, which means the Piercer Lord bonus does apply to him and makes him attack even further, which I kind of like. Let's go ahead, drop ourselves another 10 piece here for the, I don't know, a lot of them. We've dropped a lot of those suckers. Is it a Toad? It's not a Toad, it's a Mari. She's got to be getting close to A5. We'll see. I'm thinking, if that's not it, it's got to be close. A food pull, we can't get too crazy with that. I guess since we did pull another legendary, I'm probably not going to go and sell off rares to try to get to another pity. We're just going to kind of let it ride because no point in being too crazy greedy, even though every piece of me... Oh, a Nazim! Well, look at that. I hadn't got a Nazim. I've been kind of wanting one. Really solid for Guild Boss 2. That's great. Love to see it. Solil, not probably going to build her over here. Maybe on the mini account I'll need her, but we won't go too crazy near her. But Nazim's pretty nice. The main reason you like Nazim is this right here. He can pretty much solo stack that Saw phase on the boss back to like doing 0 damage, which is great. Doing that all by himself, pretty nice. He does have a very high skill cost, which is a little bit annoying, but you can probably build him very tanky with just like health and rage regen and try to get that to proc as often as possible. But there we go. I'm glad to have one here. We can actually maybe focus on building him up for Guild Boss 2 now. Love to see it. We're just going to go ahead and drain our gems down to none gems because we might as well. We're already here. We're already summoning. There's always a small, slim chance that the old Monkey Lord jumps out of the bushes at us. There's also a chance that doesn't happen either. Our 50,000th and 3rd Cellcath can't be upset about that. We're going to have so much purple stuff to turn into auto fights. It's going to be crazy. That's a bad one. Go ahead and drop this. We're getting what? We got like 5 left or so? Not many. We are running out very quickly. The diamonds go fast. An assault. Pretty sure I've got this guy to A5 already. If I don't, I do now for sure. One day he will get built simply for the Immortal Codex. For right now, very low priority. Not worried about him. Here we go. Next one's coming up. We got ourselves another purple. And it's an... Oh, well, look at that. Got her for the first time today, and then got her for the second time today. Love to see it. So we got that first awaken, permanent uptime on damage reduction from her. Could be useful. Not sure. Maybe some of the Void Rift content. I know like some of the stuff there gets pretty crazy tough, so maybe that damage reduction really comes in clutch there. I don't know. Our like 18th in assault for the account. That's lovely. We've only got 20 summons left to go. Here we go. We're going to be half of them here on a food pool. That's what you want to see. That is what you want to see. And then we're going to do one more. Boop. And don't food me. You know what I'm saying? If you food me, you fooded me. Now I've got to sell off some rare heroes because you can't end on a food pool. That just hurts, and it's not good. I guess we can grab out a 24 rare summoning crystals. I lied. We are going back at it. We've got 24 more to go. Let's just keep doing it. So, another food pull. You've got to be kidding me. All right? You got to be joking. This better be a legendary. You're gonna throw me 3 food pulls in a row. This sucker better be turning... Okay, at least it's turning purple. At least it turned purple. I was about to say, if that stays blue, I'm gonna cry a little bit. But there we are. How many summons deep are we? Maybe just a... Grab that out as well. More mythic extracts. Where are we at here? Oh, man. Scrolling. Okay, so we got this guy that's... We'll call it 5, 30, 60, 90, 125. We would have to summon another like 75 summons. There's a chance we could pull that off. I'm a little bummed we didn't get a copy, I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot of summons. I expected to get like, well, obviously one, but hopefully two. Didn't have it happen. We've got some heroes backed up in the old storage. 10 of the Toad Bro. Almost forgot to look at Toad Bros. We got 10 of them suckers just chilling here. So that was a lot. We pulled a lot of toads. That's what? That's 1,000 awakening material. That's great. Not too bad of pulls, honestly. A couple Lord Heroes here. Actually, even a Lord Hero in the Legendary type, which is pretty sick. So we pulled 5 Legendaries in a little over probably 600, probably about 650 summons. Maybe a little, actually we got 20 more after that. So, I don't know, almost 700. Either way, we did get 5 Legendaries, can't be upset. At least 3 of those are really solid. Xena's probably also pretty good. I don't know about this guy. People talk crap on him, but I don't know. He looks kind of cool. So that's that. And we got 2 Lord Heroes down here. So real quick, I just want to check on my Pyros. No. No. I said no. I said no. I said, all right. There we go. Go around down here, and he is 4. Okay, so this will be Awakened 5 on Pyros. Not a huge Awaken for me, because I don't really use him outside of this. But it is something. Lunaria, not even Awakened once, so that's something. We'll get this guy to A3. That'll be nice. Get that slow on Salt Erosion. A5 Vortex coming in. Pretty decent stuff all around. Pretty happy with that. But let's grab out all our loot. Let's not sit around here and not grab. Ooh, 2 more Divines? Well, nice. I'll take that. And then I think we're going to get actually even some more here in... That's not where we're going. Here's where we're going. 28,000 points. Not bad. Let's go ahead and just slurp all that loot out at once. 2 more Divines. We got 31, I guess, Divines, Legendary Summons, whatever. You know what I'm saying. 2,000 diamonds refunded. Love to see it. Upgrade materials. We'll get Wukong upgraded. Probably do some stuff with him soon. Just kind of see where mine is compared to people that have much better ones than me. But not bad. What do we get over here? Quests. Oh, summons. Give me those 50, I guess. Not that it really matters. Alright, so we're back up to 2,200 diamonds. I kind of want to just sell off all my 3-star heroes, but I don't know if I even got room to do it. Do I even have? I've got a few. I've got a few. I don't know on this account if I've locked people I want to use for fusion yet, so I'm not going to just go ahead. I mean, I could make 2,200 diamonds immediately, and plus, I mean, I could go do some quick mental math. I'm not gonna. Wrong button again. How many blues do we have sitting over here? It's got to be a lot. It is. It is quite a bit. Oh man, we've got a lot of diamonds sitting in here. Thousands and thousands of diamonds. So we will have a pretty decent head start getting back into things for the next run. I'm not gonna. Every part of my body just wants to spend everything I've got right now and keep going for more monkeys. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna hold off. But with all these divine summons, I probably will pull in this special divine summoning as well. Eris does seem like a pretty solid hero. Looks pretty cool as well, but anytime I can get a fighter that does good AoE magic damage, I like that, right? Because there's a lot of areas in the game I'm struggling with right now where magic damage is important. The only downside to this bro is 26 cost. That is disgustingly high, but he still looks cool. So mini account's probably going to summon on this banner, just because I get chances at more Vortex copies, a little bit of Celil, maybe some Ardeth, not too worried about that. And then we do have a few Ancients saved up for when this comes around. Not a bunch of them, but snagging out like an Ingrid or an Ardea would be pretty sweet for the account. We'll see. I've only got like... Wrong button again. Boy, my wrong button skills is on point. We got, what, 25? That's not bad. We do have some shards up here. We got about 5 in shards sitting around. So that will get us up to 30 Ancients. Maybe we'll get something. I'm not sure what my Ancient Pity is. Probably not high. But either way, we've summoned out absolutely buttloads of heroes today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And I will see you guys in the next one.